Let's dive right into some this or that results from last week. Adam and I discussed this last week. Ultimately, with the bench kind of being the thing that stood out, Adam chose this, the rack, barbell, bench, and plates. I went with everything else. Still, we thought this was so good that we decided to ask everybody else. So we put this on the Garage Gym Experiment survey, and 57% went with this, the rack, bench, barbell, and plates versus everything else. Do those results surprise you?
No, I thought it'd be fairly split, but the bench was the big one. I think when you pointed out that I mentioned bench in the first list, so it must be left out of that list. I think that was the real separator there for the slight edge for the victory.
I think so as well. Well, let's move on to another this or that. So I thought this one would be kind of a good one with it looks like Reps teasing the rack mounted Smith machine to be released next week. So would you go with something like the rack mounted Smith machine, something set in place like the option from Rep coming, or the VTS, something with a little bit more variability?
Well, I'm going to take price out of the equation and just look at like what I would like better for my space. Uh, and I'm going to go with this actually, the VTS. Um, yeah, I like the question, but I'm going VTS.
Yeah, I would say this is a tough one. But I think I would probably go VTS as well. For me, the biggest thing would be the variability with like the different handles that you can add.
Yeah, for me, it's more I like an empty squat rack, and so it's probably pretty cumbersome to take on and off, but just the ability to take it off and probably have a nice like storage or something off to the side for it. Um, I think I like its yeah, that's what I like about it, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Is this a tough one for you though?
It is. It's very close. I was thinking when I first saw this picture, I didn't mean to sneak peek, but as I was jumping in the slides, I thought it was going to be VTS or just a Smith machine, a standalone Smith machine, and I would have gone with that, like a standalone Smith machine, like in my space, like just something off to the side just to keep things off my rack. But between these two rack mounted options, yeah, VTS. And it was tough, but
Got it. So we'll throw this one in the survey as well for people to vote. We have another one. So this one, Adam, great question.
yeah. I was thinking about you, Jake, because I always go back and forth with how I like to do things. So it's running for us, but is it cardio first, then lifting? Or is it lifting first, then cardio for you?
You just knowing my workout style, you're going to understand. I would say that I, so my workouts are usually relatively random. I would say that I have an even amount of workouts that are cardio first, then lift first, then cardio only, and lift only. So 25% of each of them. If I had to choose my favorite of all of them, I would probably go lift first, then cardio.
Oh, interesting.
And it also depends on time of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you lift first, you have the energy, and then the cardio is like a extra, no pressure, just do it type thing. So that's what I would go with if I had to choose this. If I had to choose this or that, I'd go with that. But overall, pretty mixed. What about you?
Yeah, I'm cardio first, then lift. I realize like it's hard for me to like run with like a pump. And then by the time I'm done running, like it's gone and I lost that feeling. It almost feels like I won't get the same gains. I know I don't know the physiology of it. That might not be true at all. But I like to get my cardio in first, especially if it's a long run day. I like to get that out of the way. And then you know, come down and lift afterwards. I like to end my training, total like training with a bit of a pump. I like to feel strong. So Yeah, I'm reverse as you. I'm on this.
Okay. Okay.
There's probably some physiology that says like which one's better. I don't know which it is though. Like,
So I mean I keep seeing so many different things. I recently just saw like the best fat building workout is a combination of both, and I've also seen plenty of things saying you should separate cardio and lifting completely, and you shouldn't do the same in the same session.
oh
So
yeah, I'll never do that, even
I
if
just
it's
don't
optimal.
know. I know. I know.
There's no way.
I just don't know what to trust.
Right.
It's there's so much information out there. All right, let's move on to what do we have?
Oh,
Home Gym Con
bad map.
update. So we are, I would say, about 60% through of all of the current vendors signed up choosing their spots. I've talked about this first, but we started off with um, award winners, premium sponsors, 1,200 square foot booths or more, and competition supporters first. And then we also do order of sign up. So this year was a little bit different because there was a lot more before we get to the in order of sign up. So some people signed up first, but they were one of the first 5 to sign up or whatever, but they are choosing like 35th or whatever. But anyways, the map is looking truly incredible. It's filling up really nicely. We've got some people up at the front, the middle. There's a lot of big booths. It's really nice knowing where we're at, that anybody choosing right now there's like, it is a tough decision of where to go. It's like, do I want to be up at the front? Do I want to find my way in the middle, or do I want to be around the competitions? So it's a good problem to have. You know, going through this over the past few weeks, just huge shout out to all the vendors. They've been really great about responding, and they've shown a lot of excitement about next year. And I've mentioned this before. This is one of the coolest things for the event, putting the map together and just trying to figure out what it's all going to look like. Anything to add?
No, man, I like how that's like clustering up with the big ones in the middle. And like you said, like with the competition space in the background, you have a big choice to make. Do you want to be like the first to like be seen, like up front? Do you want to be around some of those big booths in the middle, which are going to get a lot of traffic? Or do you want to be in the back where like, traffic will naturally flow that way? So making it tough on them is going to make like really no dead spaces. So I think it's really cool.
And then just for your information, the event right now with 9 months to go is about as large as last year. So plenty of time, about as large as last year. It's going to be pretty spectacular, I think. All right, next up, speaking of strength sports, we have some questions revolving around, do you train any of them? So real quick before we get into specifics, we have yes or no. Do you train for a specific strength sport? About 31% are training for a specific strength sport. It's not a massive amount, but it is up a fair amount from last year, where only about 23% voted that way. And then we also asked about specific strength sports. So there's a list of 12 here on the screen. And we asked, do you have high interest, medium interest, low interest, or is it neutral? The top two were kind of far and away the top two, but with only like 35% and then 27% voting high interest, they're all still very niche. So every single sport on this list is very niche, and they're kind of broken out into a lot of different subsets within the home gym community. That said, bodybuilding was number one with 35% high interest. 27% have high interest in bodybuilding. Strongman comes in at number 3 with 15%. Olympic weightlifting, number 4, just under 14%. And then grip strength was number 5 with a little bit under 13%. There's also a blog post that I'll put in here with just more specific numbers because we're going to run through these pretty quickly. Here's another view that just kind of shows how many votes each section got as regards to high, medium, low, or neutral. And you can see most of those votes are in the low category. Not to be Debbie Downer for all those strength sport advocates, but it truly is relatively niche, really spread out. And there's a few at the top that are more popular than others. And then we did ask this question last year. How did that change? Overall, not too much. I would say the biggest standout compared to last year would be grip strength. So in regards to plus or minus from last year, grip strength high votes are up almost 9%. The medium votes are up almost 23%. And then low is the amount of low votes are down 30%. So that's a big increase for grip strength. We also saw powerlifting go down a little bit, and then CrossFit went down pretty significantly as well. Everything else relatively stable from last year. All right, and before we go to our last section, Adam, any thoughts on those strength sports numbers?
No, like you said, they're very niche. And so like I'm thinking about like your average Joe filling out the survey who just like works out to like have a healthy life or maybe to look better. I think that's why maybe bodybuilding was up so high because that's just building muscle. So a lot of people are like, oh yeah, like if I had to pick something, like that's what I do. But I don't think that reflects like people competing in like a bodybuilding category. You know what I mean? So they made sense to me. Not a lot of people like compete the older they get. Masters classes are usually like the smallest ones. So yeah, no, it
Yeah.
made a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's the same reasoning I think for a lot of these, and you can follow what bodybuilders are doing, and it
Hmm.
teaches you things. And I think also with like the squat, bench, or deadlift, like most people are squat, benching, or deadlifting to at least some extent, so that's why there's higher votes in powerlifting as well. Those two might just be the most popular in general, but I think that's why they're so much higher than everybody else. All right, and then for the last little section I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm calling this 5 non-essential items that I find myself using weekly. And then, Adam, and I know you probably didn't think too much of this, but if you have any to add to this list at the beginning or at the end, feel free to add. So, number 1, the SCAP strap. So this actually, I brought it up to showcase here. I actually just did an Instagram post on it. But it is this thing. So I would say it's a non-essential, but you attach it to a cable system, and I'll throw a video on this as well. But, it just pulls like this. It does this. And there's a lot of different things that you can do with it. Primarily, the scapula, I think, is what it works the best. But I I like it as how the flat tricep handles are. I like
Hmm.
doing that sort of movement with it.
Exactly. I was thinking like elongating the lats. I don't know. I guess it's like a straight arm extension or something. But yeah,
Yes.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Whose specifically do you have?
It's the scap strap.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a smaller creator, and the only one that I think sells it is Stray Dog. So they're like selling it exclusively through Stray Dog. But this, we've talked about how if you have multiple pulley systems or whatever, just like in general, having a home gym, you can kind of leave your favorites up.
Yeah.
This is something I pretty much always have on one of my Bells of Steel cable towers and move it up and down, do multiple things. I do like for the flat tricep extension movement that we talked about. I think I like it using that better than the flat mag grip one.
Yeah.
So that's one. Number 2 is the sand dune stepper. So the sand dune stepper is a great warm up, I would say, especially if you don't have any cardio machines or it is, like a cold morning in the garage and you just need to get the blood pumping. Just get on that and just start running up and down. You can also take a sandbag and do like stomps on the sand dune stepper. So it's supposed to replicate like walking in the sand. I also use it. I get on my knees and use it with like some of the cable
Yeah.
um, machines. So specifically, like if it's not tall enough, I'll get on my knees and do something, or you can do like crunches with it and those sorts of things. So that's something you can. There's a lot of different ways to use it. Chip, Fig Jam Exerciser, he has one. I always see him using it on Instagram. It's one of those things that's kind of, it's random, but I've used it. I've probably had it for like 5 years, and it's one of
I
those
remember when
things
you
where,
first got it.
yeah, it's great. So that's another, I would say another hidden gem. I don't think it's cheap. It's not like I think most people see it and they're like, ooh, I think it's like closer to like $300, 250, $300. But I do think it's a really nice option for a lot of home gym owners. Number 3, I've praised this one in the past, but the Body Solid Rower, the
Yeah.
non, and I have a few different cable systems, so I use it on several different ones. That's a sleeper as well. It's good for like low weight rows. Another, you can put on the scap strap and
Uh,
even do like something like that. Like
oh yeah.
it's a good way to do a lot of different row variations. I don't ever find myself doing like heavyweight sets of 10, but it's a good like middle ground between doing like a 5 minute, 5, 10, 20 minute rowing session and just doing something like that for like a couple minutes at a time. I do really enjoy that Body Solid Rower, that I'm also able to like store on the wall, easily move around. That's a good one that I think a lot of people could use if they have uh, a cable system or two. Number 3, I am a huge fan of the Henny attachment. So this is a great alternative for jammer arms. I don't, if you see Brian Hennessy doing it on his Instagram, he does a lot of crazy things. I pretty much just do it for like pushing. I really like it. You can basically set up a lot of different variations without changing the barbell height by just moving your feet in and out. The only real cumbersome thing is like you have to put a barbell on it. You have to put plates on it. If you want to adjust it even just like a tad, you got to take it all out. So if you set it up wrong, you got to take all the weight off and put it back. It's not something that I ever really leave on the front of my power rack for too long. Maybe if I know I'm going to use it for 2 straight days. That's really the only con. Much cheaper than jammer arms, and that's something I find myself using all the time. And then number 5, I had 6, but can't remember what that 6th one is. Number 5, I've only had this one for like a month, so it's one of those things where it could still just be in the like love at first sight thing. But bench blocks,
Oh
total. Have you ever used bench blocks?
no, but I know. Yeah. Go ahead.
Dude, such a great variation. Um, Great way to change up the pace from traditional bench. I wouldn't say I've used it in a way to really try and improve my bench quite yet, or like look into how to use it to improve your bench. I'm sure it already has, because I find myself using it weekly, as this segment discusses. But I've also used like the wide body bench for like that mimics
Uh-huh.
floor press. This is so much better. It's so much easier to use. It's like a block that you can easily throw in a corner, easily put it on the the bench. There's multiple different height options. It's also just something that's like $50. Uh, so another like non-essential that I think a lot of home gym owners would really appreciate. So those are the 5. I also had another segment that I thought would be kind of cool that we'll save till next week. That was just like, I was thinking about like home gyms back when we first started. So
Oh yeah.
much different. There's so much different. And I have a good list of like items you just don't see anymore.
Okay, I don't want, yeah, because I have like 4 in my head. So yeah, let's save that for next week
Okay, let's
because
save
that'll
that
be
for next.
funny. Yeah.
You sure you want to do it now or do we?
No, 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 no. Because I want to
Okay, let's
spend some
save it.
time and get like a legit list because I'm sure we have some similar ones. But
Okay,
like,
don't.
yeah.
All right, don't look at the doc then. Come up with your own list. But any things that come to your mind of something that like most people don't even know about that you use consistently in your home gym?
Yeah, man, 3 popped into my head right away.
Oh, sweet.
One is the 90-degree bench from Titan that you ended up giving me.
Yep.
It's just like a low back 90-degree shoulder press bench. I don't like shoulder pressing on like my full size bench because I can't get my head back, you know? So having that for like shoulder presses, especially being in a basement gym where my ceilings are short, I can't shoulder press standing up. That's been a big one, and I really like that one. Number 2 is kind of funny. The same way you use the sand dune stepper as like, to do cable attachment stuff, like when you're dropping down your knees and stuff like that. I have, I have the fat pad for my rep bench, and I have the standard pad that's just like leaned up against the wall, and I use it all the time. If I'm doing lunges, if I'm doing cable work, I have the FT3000 functional trainer.
Yep.
It's short, so to get full extension, I have to go down to my knees, and so
Yep.
I'm dropping down the pad. Just having like a nice cushion pad, I use it all the time, all the time. I'll do floor presses with it. I know it's not the same because I'm still elevated a couple inches, but yeah, that's a big one. And then one that I mention on here, I used to mention all the time, but I still use it religiously, is the slant board from Slant Board Guy. That's a big one in my leg day, just because I have poor mobility and like might be running and stuff like that. I might struggle to hit depth, so that saves me a lot. So those are quick 3.
Quick 3. So that's 8. Anybody in the comments throw in your non-essentials that you use consistently on a weekly basis. There's also plenty that I use like on a monthly basis or bi-monthly basis, but I
Uh-huh.
tried to stick with the ones that I'm like really using consistently.
Yeah. All right, let me get it straight. So for next time, what home gyms used to look like, popular items that used to be considered home gyms. Is that what we're doing?
Correct.
Okay. I,
Correct.
I can't wait to see like the ones that are like the same in ours, but yeah.
Yeah. I
I've
okay.
got
Yeah,
like 5 good ones already in my head, so
I
don't
won't
say them out
share
loud.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
cool. Well, I think that's it.
Sweet.
All right.
Later, dude.